Yo, what's platinum?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I'm Rolo,
I'm Tall Josh.
and this is Pool House Vibes,
Hey, the Pool House Vibes.
where we talk about everything.
And anything.
All right, episode number 8.
The Ocho.
8. 8's a power number.
Really?
Yeah, numerology.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that like the numerology thing that you do, or
I
just,
don't-
like
it's
just
the
general
thing that
numerology?
people do, yeah.
Is
People
that
do
because
it.
it's like an infinity sign?
Yeah, sideways. Yeah.
Right on.
As above, so below.
So our guest tonight is Bantamweight. Now, is it Bantamweight official or is it just Bantamweight? Because I know it says Bantamweight.
Dude, their name's
official.
Bantamweight.
That's
sure.
That's really funny because we had this friend. His name's John King. Shout out to John King. But anyway, so he wanted to do a photo shoot with us. So we went to his studio, and he teaches a class. So there's just 12 photographers there, and we literally just set up, and they're all taking pictures of us. And he's like, "Okay, guys, this is Bantamweight official." And it's their band name, and it was like, no, it's just Bantamweight.
He probably said it like 3 times. Nobody had the
Bantamweight
heart to
official.
tell him.
Yeah. Could you imagine T-shirts Bantamweight.official?
Dude, that could be a way to go viral nowadays.
Yeah.
we literally just changed our name to our URL code. www.bantamweight.official.
Instagram.com.
Yeah.
So we got Keith and Max. Max plays the drums, and
right.
Keith plays the bass guitar, and then you guys both do a little bit of the MIDI piano. Maybe
Yeah.
explain that a little bit there for him.
I mean, both of us have MIDI pianos, which are just basically synthesizers that we can change to sound like anything we want. They're soft synths, so it hooks into our computer software. And I have a little keyboard up to my side. Keith has a larger keyboard, and he has some organ pedals that he uses to, again, trigger chords and melodies and all that. And, of course, he also sings. And I just play drums.
Nice. Don't underestimate the power of the drums.
That's true.
Drums are a power number.
Yeah, just playing drums. You don't just play drums. One does not simply just play drums. No.
Yeah.
So we were kind of talking, and like all the cool stuff always happens right before the podcast starts.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how I got familiar with you guys, and I told Tall Josh, I was like, hey, send me some of this stuff, and we just went through this whole freaking crazy conniption in order to get it, which you guys know about now. But it was interesting because I didn't expect you guys to be as good as you sound. And nowadays it's kind of interesting with in the oversaturated music industry, so to speak, right? You find pearls every once in a while throughout the ethereal cosmos that which is music, and I found with your humble following and stuff like that, I would expect you to have way more and like a humongous following because the sound is there. You guys have the sound. It's combining the old school almost like new wave or almost like a retro wave style synths with like the vocals of I'm trying to think of not the grunge era, but maybe a little bit past.
Sure.
The grunge era, what would your perspective be on that?
People have said it's like that 80s era,
right.
The Cure and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, we've been getting that a lot.
Yeah, and it's soothing, you know what I mean? It's really awesome. It's like, oh yes, these guys get it, And I was just kind of intrigued as to how you guys came about that sound, what your original influences are, what drives you to create that current mixture of sonic goodness that you have right now.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that goes back so far. Keith and I have been playing music together for over 10 years now. We met in high school. And it's a big question. I guess our current sound, it's directly influenced by a previous band of ours that didn't work out, where we were a trio, and we wanted to do pretty much the same thing that we're doing now, which is having a small band where we use a lot of synths and sound maybe a much larger ensemble. There's 5 or 6 layers going on at any one time.
Right.
And when that didn't work out, we kind of wanted to just continue with that same idea of just sounding huge with a small package. Having a small unit is pretty much for functional reasons. But we just wanted to kind of continue with that and take it to the extreme. So we both decided to just pick up multiple instruments and where our influences come from is it's a much deeper question, but yeah, it's essentially what we're doing now is just trying to sound like more people than we have.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean that's a huge compliment that you were saying that you liked that first EP, because that first EP was just us figuring out how much sound we can make. Like it was literally Bantamweight is officially probably like a year old now.
Yeah, it would be a year in about March.
Yeah, so I mean we're still fresh off the ground.
So
And
you guys are like actually bantamweights.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure that.
Yeah, and it was just that first EP was literally like we didn't know how to play keys, and I didn't really know all that much about singing in the beginning, so it's just a complete experiment right off the bat, and we just wanted to see what kind of sound we could put out there. I mean, we didn't know what we were going to sound like. We were just trying to figure out, like, what is this? What can we do? And
Right.
that's just what came out, and now we're working on the next EP, and all these doors have opened of, like, where we can take this, because it's just the two of us, but we can control all this sound now, you know? So we're really excited for our next EP because we have a great direction to go in, and I'm really excited for it because I think it's going to sound way better than the first one. But yeah, thank you for that huge compliment.
Yeah, no problem. So now you guys already have like your sound kind of established. You have your stuff on Bandcamp. Was it
Yeah,
Bandcamp?
we're on Bandcamp, yeah.
Bandcamp, right? Do you feel that more distribution is something that you could foresee in the future, like, or are you working on that, like getting your stuff on Spotify, iTunes,
Sure.
Amazon,
Yeah.
etc.?
I mean, that's something that we think about all the time. And, you know, obviously the barrier of entry to getting on Spotify and Apple Music, it's not that high.
No, not
really.
right now. Yeah.
But essentially it's just like, do we want to use our funds on paying a monthly service for being on Spotify or all that, or do we want to put it towards making our next EP even better? Or,
Right.
you know, there's so many other things that we can spend money on. Frankly, that's just not a priority right now. Anybody can just go to our Bandcamp and just download it for free, and or stream it on
Right now, it's kind of
SoundCloud.
just get it out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shows, get it out
And
there.
that was the whole idea with the first EP, was just to get out there. It was like, how quickly can we put together some music to play to where we're still kind of, like, we don't even really know what we're doing. Especially at that time, I had never
Nobody
played
does.
the keyboard. That's true, yeah. But that first EP was very much just like, get it out there as quick as possible. We need to start playing shows. We need to just figure out something to do, you know?
You guys like the UFC?
Once in a while, we'll check it
I
out.
mean, when there's decent fights worth looking into.
Dude, the bantamweight class, or like super lightweight class, or whatever. Dude, those fights are incredible, dude. These guys, they just
little guys.
they don't run out of energy. They're just like they're like open swinging on each other, like do all kinds of crazy takedowns moves. Yeah.
We just watched, I don't know if it was Bantamweight, but it was two smaller guys. It was Max Holloway versus Dustin
Poirier.
Oh yeah.
It was
yeah.
a really good fight.
It was.
Crazy fight. And then there was also, what's his name? Israel
Adesanya.
versus...
Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, and that was a great fight.
Yeah.
That was,
I didn't expect that to go the way it did.
so Bantamweight, it's funny that you guys talk about Bantamweight because TJ Dillashaw just got caught for injecting the
You see the video?
steroids.
He's like, I fucked up, guys.
I did not see that. No way.
So it's funny that you say that. So it's at 135, I think? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
145. 145. In the UFC. It could be something different in boxing, but in the UFC, bantamweight class is 145. So the champion is up in the air. There's no champion now.
So now there's going to be just a fight to see who's the champion. Probably the two main contenders underneath him probably have to go. That's how I would see it.
I don't know who they were going to put up for him to fight next. It was kind of like they were getting ready to, I think, because he had just lost to Henry Cejudo, and then because he dropped down.
Did you know he has a gold medal?
Who?
Henry Cejudo?
Yeah, Cejudo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
wrestling.
He's
Olympic
He's an
wrestling.
Olympic wrestler. Not a if you smell. Not that kind of wrestling.
Yeah, not that kind of wrestling.
But The Rock did get cover of Time magazine.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude. Got the cover of Time magazine. That's pretty intense,
Wow.
bro.
Was it
100
people that did it? Was it
Yeah, it was like the 100 most
Yeah.
influential people. But I don't know if it was the cover, but I think he was on the cover. I think.
Dude, that's so dope.
The
Yeah.
Rock is in the top 100 most influential people in the world.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Dude,
He is,
dude,
though, like-
but if you look at his Instagram, he's got like 139 million people following him.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Will Smith, Will Smith, who like
Yeah.
blew up on Instagram, right? He's only got 22 million. Cardi B has like 44 million. I don't care about the numbers, but the numbers like at that level are like what the hell?
All of a sudden you care.
Yeah, it
No
makes you
kidding.
care. Like 129 million. That's all right. You kind of got to care.
I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah, it was crazy. high. It's
139
crazy.
million followers. Yeah.
I'm out of
39. Holy shit.
He's had an amazing career, honestly. Like
Yeah.
going from
The WWF.
wrestling and now
football to wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. University of Miami. He was a Hurricane. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. But isn't it weird that he's on a list, that I'm sure must have like Vladimir Putin on
Yeah,
it?
but
Like,
but would you buy a Time magazine with Vladimir Putin on the front?
I wouldn't buy a Time magazine, period.
It's all about that, that advertisement. Like you see Rock's face and you're like, he's on Time magazine. You flip through it and there's like scientists. You're like,
Yeah, boring, yeah.
You're boring.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
oh, The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
In movies, awesome, man, real cool.
Jumanji, nice.
What's been crazy though is I remember when he first came to the WWF, like on a Monday Night Raw. He came out and he was rocking Maya Villa. He had hair at the time. He shaves his head now, but he had hair at the time, and it was all curly. And he was coming out. And he was just like, I'm ready. I'm ready to be here. Yeah, I'm so stoked to be here. And then he goes in. He does his thing, and he wasn't like The Rock at that time.
No, it's
like,
Rocky Maivia.
Yeah, he like became The Rock. Like he like created his own deal. I'm sure some people in the back helped him with it.
I believe
but-
his dad was also.
Yeah.
his whole
family. I think his grandpa too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think
And
so.
his
Yeah.
part of the
uncles-
dynasty.
Quote me on that, but
yeah.
it was
Yeah, no, his uncles or his cousins or something like that were the head shrinkers.
Head shrinkers.
I might have to look that one
Yeah, I
up.
don't know, bro.
Well, it's-
Yeah, dude, but yeah, that's crazy. But on that Time magazine cover, I just wanted so bad for his eyebrow to be up. Like, right? He's like, I wanted to so bad. I hope somebody actually made that, and put it out there. But yeah, where do you guys like to go? Like, have you guys like experienced a tour yet, or anything like that, or like or shows in other cities at least, or?
Nothing significant, really. We've done things here and there with different groups, but with Bantamweight, we're just playing LA and the surrounding area right
Okay,
now.
well that's a good place. to
Yeah, I
be.
mean, we've got a pretty big pool of potential audience attendees, so
Sonic Bids is a good service where you can like get gigs pretty quickly. Like, and there's a lot of gigs that they post up.
really?
Yeah, it's like $19 or something like that, or 20 or something.
And
I'm not giving them a plug or anything.
Sure, yeah, we're not
But
affiliated.
but it's dope. Yeah, it's a good service. And then as far as getting your music on like Spotify, iTunes, all that, like all the different music distribution services, like Deezer, stuff like that. DistroKid.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that I've noticed is pretty profound right now.
Yeah.
And it's not like we don't want to tour. Like, of course, we want to
Certainly.
tour, but we just didn't think it was worth it on our first EP. No one's heard of us. Like, we played some really harsh gigs where no one was there.
Right. Oh yeah.
And so we're finally starting to get that. We're starting to get that following where people are actually showing up to the shows, and it's weird at this point because we played so many shows that have been dead, and we just played one in Pasadena. And a couple people showed up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we came to see you." And it's like, "You did? Why?
Why?
Yeah, why? Why would you do that?"
Yeah, have more faith in yourself. But yeah, no, it's true, bro. Like, I can relate. I could relate 100% from experience, doing a show and then having just nobody there. But then there was one time that somebody told me, he's like, if there's 3 people there, or if there's 3 million, you play exactly the same, and that's
sure.
what's gonna carry you. And
Yeah.
but it's very difficult to play like just get into it when there's like 3 people like kind of paying attention.
And it's also
one's on their phone, the other one's like pounding like a freaking drink, and then
Ah, dude, one of the bars we play at is brutal because there's this guy who comes in every Monday night and
Freebird.
no, not even that. He just goes there to watch TV. Like if there's a game on, and he walks in, he's an older gentleman, probably a vet because he has like a veteran's hat,
Right.
with his symbols on it. And he walks up to the bar, and the bartender sees him and just hands him the remote. He's that much of he comes in that often. Then he gets his beer, back to the stage the entire time and just watches his game. And there's
yeah.
nothing you can do to make him turn around. There's not
Yeah.
a darn thing you can do.
And we are nothing but a detriment to his night. He just wants to enjoy TV.
Yeah, he'd rather have it quiet and just like with the sound of the TV on, but no, he's got to have some obnoxious kids trying to play their art,
Yeah.
So
Hey, but see, what it takes is empathy, and I think you guys have that because you have an awareness of what you're giving to the audience, of what they're receiving and what you're receiving back from them. So that's super important.
Sure. Yeah.
Where do you guys like to eat? Like when you go out?
Mostly just at our house. It's another way of saving money.
Well, yeah, you like rolled a burrito on the way over here, and it looked like it came from Chipotle, and I was like,
did.
whoa, dude,
I think it was
that's the
huge.
first time I've ever
Yeah.
seen that. Like, just like dude in a band with like a freaking tinfoil wrapped burrito, like opens it up, and then like told her, I was like, oh, where did you get that? He's like, I made it.
And he flattened on both sides too, so it looks like a grilled burrito. From Chipotle.
He's actually like an excellent cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
That's awesome.
if
It's good to know.
if you guys go on tour or whatnot.
I got it all
Yeah,
planned
we got
out.
it.
You know anything about the Instant Pot?
No.
Oh, you guys got to get on the Instant Pot game. It's a pressure cooker, and you can cook anything in it. And it's like a dump pot, so that just means like you throw all the ingredients on, turn on the lid, or twist on the lid, and then hit your button, come back, and it's done.
So is it like more? Is it better than a crock pot?
Oh, it's way better than
It's
that.
also way quicker. I mean, you can
Really?
do like beans in a couple minutes, like from raw beans, which
so
would normally
no
take like 24
microwave.
hours.
Yeah.
No microwave.
Because like if you do raw beans, you got to soak them for
Right.
like 24 hours. But that one, you throw them in raw beans, 20 minutes, and they're perfect. Like rice,
How does it? I'm trying to think of how it works.
it's all through steam. So you pour water in, and then you lock it, and it just everything is just airtight, and so it makes the steam, which then cooks everything really fast. So like rice is 4 minutes. Raw rice, you dump it in with the water, 4 minutes.
You're right. I do have to get on this.
Yeah.
So then
It's-
my wife comes home and she's like, "Wow, you did this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Just go hide it back in the closet.
But what's even better is it's got a delay timer on it, So if you're gonna go, you just throw everything in there, throw it on. It's like I'm gonna be back in 6 hours, so I'm gonna, and it's gonna take 10 minutes to cook. You throw it on for that like 5 minutes or 5 hours and 40 minutes. Come back and it's ready to go. You just turn it on the plate and sit down. Done. Nothing else to do. It's the best.
Yeah.
Dang.
So that's our plan.
That's crazy. That's a super like intense life hack.
Yeah.
It really is.
Dang.
Especially on the road?
Yeah, but not even on the road, just in life, because it's like it saves you so much time, and you're all about time management.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like I feel like I don't have enough time to do everything that I want
Right,
to do.
yeah,
And-
But if you
time
like,
anxiety.
I mean, cooking takes so much time. You got to prep everything, and with the Instant Pot, like especially the dishes, the amount of dishes when it comes to cooking everything. But the Instant Pot, since it's just one dish, there's a saute mode. So if you need sautéed onions, throw it in there, saute the onions, then you throw everything else on, throw that lid, beep, and then like 15 minutes later, it's done, ready to go. It's awesome.
That's dope. Instant Pot, bro. You probably just made some new customers. Right?
Yeah.
We need an affiliate code, man.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Instant Pot, if you're out there, sponsor us.
Bantamweight.
Yeah.
Check them out.
On that hustle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Instant
dude.
Pot / Bantamweight.
Our own
For
signature
that 10
Instant
to
Pot.
50% off. Yeah.
Dude, hey, you guys could do the soundtrack for the commercial or something
There
like
you
that.
go. Yeah.
And now they have videos with product placement, so you just got to organize with the producer that's creating a movie where they do a product placement of the Instant Pot and have your song playing in the background.
We'll just put him in our music video.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. So speaking of advertisements, we were just talking about this, but have you guys noticed if you're talking with someone and you don't look anything up on your phone, that all of a sudden you'll get an advertisement on your phone?
yeah.
That was
I haven't done this
you
before.
haven't. it-
I've heard people talk
No,
about
dude,
this.
it's algorithmic. It's a lot less scary than people think, but there is an algorithm that is actively listening, because you've agreed to it within like your iTunes agreement or your
Yeah.
Google agreement or whatever. You agreed to it already.
One
So
of
what
the
they're doing is
agreements.
they're just accumulating some of that data, and it's crazy now. They have the things that you want in blue and the things that you don't, or the things that you want in red and the things you don't want in blue. So you're like, oh shit, I didn't want to press that, but it's like, yes, join, and it's in red. Or they trick you with so many different things because you're just trying to get to the next thing. Would you allow Google to use your location during this time period? You're like, yeah, okay. Oh shit, no, that means so many other things. That,
Yeah, and like especially if you download an app, you don't care. You just want to get to the app, and it's like allow access to all your photos. I don't care. Yeah, just access to everything. Let's go. You know,
Yep.
you were whipping through it. But we were just talking to some friends the other day, and they were talking about this thing called 2-bit circus. I don't have a clue what it is, but 2-bit circus. Yeah. But so this morning, I'm just like I'm rolling through my Instagram advertisement for the 2-bit circus, and I'm just like, no, I didn't type it in.
Yeah.
I didn't. The only thing, we only had a conversation about 2-bit circus, and I had never heard about it until then.
Wow.
And then go on YouTube,
2-bit circus.
2-bit circus, and I was
Shouts out 2-bit circus.
Yeah,
Bantamweight.
sponsor us.
So this happened to me. We were, my wife and I got married in Hawaii, right? And it was like a big old deal because, like, you know, we waited so many years or whatever, and I was like, if we don't get married in Hawaii, that's where I want to get married. Then we're not getting married, you know. Whatever it was, you know. I was like being groomzilla about it or whatever. But we did it, right? We ended up going, and before we went, we started like planning our trip and everything, and like I was like, all right, what's the deal here? I know I want to go snorkeling. I know I want to go, you know, like chill with the turtles or with manta rays or whatever, right? I have to do that, you know, if I'm out there. And I was like, I want one of those like full face mask, like snorkels or whatever it was, you know. And I've never. I only encountered them like on like one of those Discovery shows or whatever, where you see somebody in there, you know, doing it. It was like by chance. Literally the next hour, full face snorkels like just popped up in my feed. I didn't think anything of it, but then later on, you know, we were all, you know, talking about that kind of stuff. Like,
Dude, it's scary.
I can't wait to see what mine has. It's gonna have snorkel. It's gonna have
LaCroix.
Oh
the
man,
minute pot minute.
Yeah.
this is gonna be the most illicit podcast known to man right now. Like nobody's gonna be able to like we're not gonna be able to air this because they're gonna be like cease and desist. We're gonna get cease and desist letters from everywhere.
But that's funny. So you said you got married in Hawaii. So we were just, we were at our friend's house. His name's Corey Garrett, and he directed and shot our most recent music video that we're putting out tomorrow. And he was talking about how him and his girlfriend are thinking about getting married and going somewhere else and doing it. But then we were just talking about how crazy it is, just how difficult it is to have overseas weddings.
Right.
How difficult was that? Like, did people have to fly to Hawaii?
Yeah,
Like,
we only had a few solid core friends that did, but they did it, and it was awesome. Yeah, like it was difficult, but at the same time, like it's one of the best memories I have looking back. It was just like this giant mission, and realistically, and I'm going to sound like a crazy philosopher when I start talking about this kind of stuff. What we do is we just breathe and blink and like walk around. That's all we really do as humans, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I'm awake now. You know, you planned on the internet, you bought the tickets and stuff, right? And you're carrying your luggage, but all you're doing is blinking and breathing and walking. So it's not that big of a deal. There's not like some sort of crazy stress factor. There was no like disaster or anything, which is ironic because literally the next year, 2 years later, there was that active volcano that wiped out a lot of the areas where we were at. It was crazy. Like, we were on that volcano. And, like, I have a picture of, like, I'm standing up on the volcano. The lava's behind me with the plume, with the smoke and everything. Or VOG is what they call it.
VOG?
VOG, yeah.
Wow.
Volcanic fog, I guess, yeah.
Oh, it makes sense.
And so, yeah, and that whole area is totally different now. And so, yeah, it was. But, yeah, to answer your question, no, it wasn't. For me, it wasn't difficult. But, yes, for people to come together, I think – Abby's, my wife's best friend, her bridesmaid, did have a huge problem. Like on the way to the airport, like her tire popped, her car broke down. She still made it. She still freaking made it. Yeah.
How much hate did you get from the people that didn't go? Like, they were like, oh, how come we didn't?
Just one?
This guy.
I was in the Navy. I was off to do a deployment.
Oh, well, whose fault was that, Josh?
So, well,
I was just like, can you make it next year, dude?
Yeah.
yeah.
I really want to go.
I had some family that was like, no, you get married here. You know, and it's just like, it's not your thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't get to say, you know, when we do. So yeah. Anyway.
Dang.
But it was fun. It was cool. It was all good. It was all good. But yeah, dude.
Good.
Could you guys live without the internet though?
No. Literally.
It'd be so hard.
It would be crushingly bad.
I told my wife that I want to do it. Like, I want to just just leave here and just go buy a place in like Montana or Utah or something like that, and just go out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
I know there's like not really in the middle of nowhere, but like I don't know, like Idaho, just like in the woods where you're not around anybody.
But just imagine how hard that is. Like you gotta, if you're gonna really go, are you saying like fully off grid?
Yeah.
Just imagine
I
how
would love
hard.
to try to do it.
How do you buy things on Amazon with no internet?
I'm saying that
Without even being in the
The
Amazon.
thing is, I want to record all of it and see like it'd be like, how long can you last?
That'll be like one of those documentaries, like the guy who went out to live with bears, and he just slowly deteriorated, and then eventually
And
it was
the
just
bear
bear
ate him.
food. Yeah.
You know?
Whoa.
No
yeah.
offense.
no, but like that shit happened to him.
Yeah.
It was sad, but
It was sad.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not that hard. Like I wouldn't be able to go out, figure out, plant your food, grow your food, harvest your food. No way.
my wife loves that stuff.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
she loves it. We have a little garden thing right there. She's growing some tomatoes, some jalapenos, cilantro, some broccoli.
I mean, I can definitely see that having a positive effect on your life, but
Yeah.
making that your entire life,
They do.
I think that would be tough.
See
I mean,
how long you do it for.
I guess as an experiment, maybe
Yeah.
that would be cool.
But going back to what you said about the bear food and the guy, is it the same guy that like it was like he recorded like everything and
Yeah, I
they
think
found
so.
his camcorder and then they went back and like saw it and like saw him like get eaten by the bear and then they had to like show his wife or his girlfriend or whatever it was at the time. Is it the same story that you're talking about?
I believe so, but it seems like every couple of months somebody decides to go out and live with wolves or bears or some predator, and I mean, I guess it works to a point.
Only Mowgli can do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's that dude that like, I guess he raised some lion cubs and they recognized him like some odd years later, which was pretty dope.
Like, I love watching those videos where like big cats actually like humans for some reason.
I don't even get along with our house cats.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you have cats in your house? Yeah, cats are weird. I feel like they have a portal into another dimension somehow, or they just know. Because have you ever seen a cat just like look in the corner and it just stares?
Oh
like,
yeah,
as
they
if
see
it's
dead
actually-
people for sure.
What the hell,
Their
dude?
pupils
Yeah.
are all dilated.
Yeah, and they're like zooming it. They're focusing in on something,
Yeah.
and they're it's just so weird, dude.
No, it's like that crazy. There's this crazy theory that when you're born, you have complete access to the other side.
Oh yeah.
And they say that when you grow older, your third eye closes. And so, like, babies can sense dead people and spirits, like, full on.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You just forget it when you grow up.
Yeah,
Or you don't.
You live backwards essentially. Like you know so much, you know all knowledge, which is why you can't speak any languages. You just know everything, and then slowly but surely you get socially conditioned and molded into like this.
Is
Whatever.
Is that when people do DMT like? It opens up that middle again.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, because I was listening to Joe Rogan and he was talking to Russell Brand just recently. And
Oh
he was
yeah.
talking
They were talking about that.
about how you do any psychedelic anything and it's like an out of body experience. So
Yeah.
it almost feels.
Well, yeah, and you can reach that. You can reach those states through transcendental meditation. You can reach those states through like other psychedelics, ayahuasca, psilocybin, all those types of different, whatever chemicals or not, But a lot of it is just activating stuff that you already have inside of your brain, inside of your body, And so, yeah, it's an interesting journey, but I like what you were talking about because that's I feel that's true. Just having kids and watching like how they look at you and how they feel that there's certain things like this the why question. Like, hey, you can't wear your shoes on your head or like right now. And he's like, why? It's like, well, because it's dirty. The bottom of the shoe's dirty and you don't want to get the dirt in your hair. Why?
But he's so
like,
advanced.
yeah.
That he knows in the future, in some other dimension, that you can wear shoes on your
you
head,
can.
and we're just beating him down.
Right, yeah. We're just limiting his potential.
And it's funny that you guys we're actually all talking about this because for some strange reason I looked at my kid like a couple weeks ago, and I had this thought that I wrote down on my notes, and it says, "Your children are your past relatives reincarnated to test you on your life path." Like that was literally the thought that I had in my head because I was looking at my kid and I felt like she was judging me. And then I wrote that down and I was just like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I have this friend, he's of the native people's descent. Yeah, he's Native American. And he had this little cousin baby, I think she was a couple of months old, and they were having a family reunion, and he was saying that they were all hanging out in a house, and they hear a knock on the door, and it's his grandmother, just an old Native American woman. She walks in, and she sees the new baby, and she's like, her third eye is so open. I would leave that house right there. I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm all right.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I love that shit though. Like,
That's crazy.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that that could be true? Or
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
creepy, right?
I mean, for people, in my opinion, the people that don't believe that stuff, it's like, why not? Because it just makes everything so much more exciting. Like the entire reincarnation thing, it's just an exciting thing to think about. But
Yeah.
Right.
you know, I don't know about the past relatives thing because
I don't know. I was just
no. I mean, like, I'm saying, like,
Write downs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, you know, it could just be any person out there, but it does make sense that it would be past relatives.
Yeah, no, like that. I felt that on an intuitive level because I recently lost. I mean, my stepfather, but it's weird that maybe it's not necessarily genetically related or blood related, but it's just relationship related.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like where it's just like, oh yeah, this is just the Earth family, and then anybody that's from Earth can be incarnated on within any other family that's on Earth because there's so many other freaking planets that you could go. So like as an Earthling, you know what I mean? We all have access to each other's genetic history or whatever, but just seeing characteristics in my youngest son that are a lot like my stepfather, it's almost like, dude, are you him? You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that he predicted that my youngest son or our youngest son would be a boy, and before he passed and all that stuff, and it was just like, just weird little things like that kind of let me believe what Josh was talking about earlier. Like it's like your past relatives or somebody that's special to you looking at you to make sure that what they taught you, you're actually enacting upon in life.
Oh, man, how crazy would that be? I mean, like, what if she was judging you and she's like, I'm going to have to tell the elders this, you know?
I'm serious, dude. I'm serious.
Like, I just got spanked for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
So anytime I yell at her, or I'm about to yell at her, I shouldn't say yell at her, but when I'm about to yell at her, and I'm just like, I don't know if I should do this.
This might be my grandma.
Yeah, take that moment because that might be the meditative kickstart that you need in order to have a better life.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy. Wow, holy shit. That's nuts if you think about it.
And you have too, so.
Yeah, exactly. And just okay, so I'm all into like numerology, psychology, astrology, like the Chinese Zodiac, the card science, the destiny cards. I'm into all that stuff like heavily, right? I've studied it for so long, and it's like, okay, so my grandma's a dragon, my son's a dragon, my biological father is a 4 of diamonds, 6 of spades, and then my son is a 6 of diamonds, 4 of spades, and just like weird little freaking synchronicities like that, where it's like, what the hell is going on with this? And then how my mom's a 2 of spades, and the 2 of spades mirrors who my wife is, who she's the king of clubs, and it's all this weird interconnectedness that if you were to really go down to it, you start to get freaked out by how eerie the similarities or the connections are. And I don't know, it's a trip, man. Like,
You ever hear of the Oedipus complex?
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
That's a can of worms.
Homer's Odyssey, how we all grow up and like marry our mothers or the guys or whatever, as well, heterosexual guys, and try to kill our fathers. Yeah, that's a trip, man.
There's some kind of deep psychology at work there, I think.
Well, yeah,
Write it down.
and it's like, well, if you think about it, it's like this is the person that gave you life, right?
Yeah.
So there's some element of like, okay, well, this is definitely a good person. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That I need to nurture. I need to like help or whatever. But it kind of stops there for me. Like, I love you, Mom, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can see how that's on a psychological level. Holy shit, man! Like, what we look for as males, or I mean, heterosexual males, like what we look for in our female partners, we're definitely looking for characteristics that, positive characteristics that are guiding female role models in life exhibited.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of a natural thing to perpetuate the species, in my opinion.
Yeah, you guys probably know a lot more about this than I do. But supposedly, I think it's between the age of 1 and 3. They're like the most crucial years to child development.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
when you develop like almost all of your preferences.
Yeah. Okay.
At least that eventually manifests.
I heard between 1 and 5, but yeah.
1 and 5. That's probably more correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I could agree with that for sure.
That's wild.
Because like the solidified personality, like you can just watch it. You just watch it in your children. You're just like, okay, so you're like this. You were like this, where you're just like, like crying, spewing poop all over the place. Don't care.
Enlightened.
Right, and then all of a sudden something enlightened, right? You knew, right? And then something happens where all of a sudden the social constructs kick in, and all of a sudden you become your personality.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really creepy when I see my kid, and everybody's like, "Oh, she's your mini me or whatever," and I'm like every day she does something that I kind of remember doing when I was younger, and I'm like, please, how do I? I'm a really controlling person, so I want to control her going the opposite way of how I've grown up and thought.
Yeah.
And then I'm just how do I do this? How do I make it so that she doesn't necessarily follow my footsteps, but kind of does in the right way, but there's you can't do it. So I'm just I feel like I'm screwed when it comes to that.
Yeah. No, you'll be okay. Do you guys remember being kids?
A little bit.
Oh, man, no, I have a terrible memory. God, I can't remember anything.
Really?
It's so bad.
You have a great memory for smaller details, like what somebody was wearing.
Yeah, stupid
interview.
things. I got a really dumb memory. It's do you remember that really important? My mom will be like, "Do you remember that incredible memory of the entire family being out?" I'm just like, "Oh boy, I don't remember that." But then all of a sudden she was like, "Do you remember when we went out?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, the pasta sauce was really good." Some really stupid detail. The waitress she had a purple ribbon in her hair. But I won't remember this the actual meat and potatoes of everything. I'll be remembering the side dishes.
That's funny.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
So it's but I guess you're more of a stay in the moment type of dude, right? Where it's now is the only thing that matters.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. At least not by choice either.
Yeah. Oh, but so how you're saying your daughter is your mini me?
Mm-hmm.
What about there's some really interesting things with genetics and generations. For instance, my sister shares a lot of traits that my grandfather has.
Oh, yeah.
That no one else in the family shares.
Right.
For instance, they both wear their watch on their left wrist with the watch on the inside of their wrist. No one else in the family does that.
So they're just hey, what time is it?
Right. They both do it, and they both read a ton. No one else in the family reads a ton. Just my grandfather and my sister. And they share all these weird traits. It's bizarre.
Your grandfather is your sister, dude.
Isn't that? I don't know how. I don't know. It just skipped a generation, went straight for my sister, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's something to all that. There's definitely something to all that. I was thinking, what's the best concert you guys have ever gone to?
Oh man, that's tough.
I don't think it's that tough. Dillinger Escape Plan in that small, tiny venue.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, there was a place called the Complex in Glendale. It's not around anymore. It closed down for probably good reason. But the Complex in Glendale. It was maybe an 80-person capacity venue or something. And this is a band. They're called the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah. If you know them, they're just completely off the wall, frenetic energy.
Yeah.
The singer and everybody in the band will be climbing on the audience and on the ceiling and everything. I would say that was a profound experience. I mean, it physically hurt a lot.
Yeah, but it was this weird thing because if you guys have ever been in mosh pits, there's this weird feeling of complete and utter chaos and danger.
Yeah.
But you also feel
safe,
incredibly safe.
Right.
Anybody who falls
I've gotten
down,
knocked down in a pit.
Right.
And then 3 people pick me back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You get knocked down by that one dude that's just 3 people are you good? All right, let's go.
Yeah. Although
So,
we
yeah.
had almost the opposite experience at the next Dillinger Escape Plan show that we went to, which was the final one that we went to before they broke up. It was at the Regent in L.A., And it was absolute pandemonium. I think everybody was going extra wild because it was probably the last time they would see them.
Right.
So there was a million people stage diving and stuff, and the stage is maybe 5 feet off the ground, so it's a pretty good jump. And anyway, the whole night people were doing that, and this one kid who was right in front of us climbed up on stage, and he jumps into the crowd head first, and not a damn person is there to catch him. And he hits his head on the ground,
Oh,
and
damn,
this is while they're playing. And he hit so hard that we could feel the impact of his head in our feet, and this was on a concrete floor. And so he gets like completely knocked out, and like it seems like nobody's helping. So me and Keith have to like run over to him and pick him up, and he's like bleeding from the head.
Damn.
And there's this hell of a song that's playing as a soundtrack to this disaster. And we're trying to haul him out there like we have him like it's World War II on like D-Day.
By the way,
Dang.
completely knocked out, like just flat,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
and
whoa.
eventually he kind of like came to it where, he was walking just a little, but
Yeah. But we're like, get out of the way, trying to shoot people because we're in the very front. We got to get him to the very back so we can get him outside. And yeah, he was
Whoa.
not in good condition. And then for the rest of the venue, or for the rest of the show, we just sat in the back. It's
Dang.
like, that's enough. We're good. Also, Keith lost his shoe,
Oh, yeah.
so that's a disaster.
Losing a shoe, man. Is that a memorable experience?
I did eventually find it. After everyone
Oh,
cleared,
nice.
there's always those few people that are, have their cell phone flashlights on the ground looking
Looking for stuff, watches.
and then my shoe was just over in the corner, completely pancaked from people just like stepping on it, and it's all wet and covered in like who knows what kind of liquids,
yeah.
And I'm just like. But also my sock is completely wet and nasty.
It doesn't even matter.
The day it doesn't
matter, yeah.
I think for me would probably when Rage Against the Machine got back together for like that short stint.
Oh, yeah.
And the first show was going to be Coachella, and I ended up buying tickets. I found I went on Craigslist, and this girl, she couldn't go because she had a play for high school that she was in. She was like the main character, and it was during the time that they were the Coachella was going to go on, so she couldn't go. And so I met her mom and her in at the river in the parking lot there, and went to that show. Was unbelievable. I was so amazed at like not only the crowd and the craziness of it, but like people just started fires like in the middle of the venue, and then like people were like climbing the sound. So the sound set up in the middle of the crowd. They were just climbing that stand.
Wow.
They started climbing the sides of the stage, and I was just like, "This is fucking crazy!" And I'm like in the back, kind of like on the far left, on the left there, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, oh hell,
Yeah.
can't stop us now. But I'm just like, nobody can stop these guys.
Yeah.
And then I think my second favorite was when I was in Long Beach and I saw Thursday, and I was always afraid to like get in the pit, like you're like, oh fucking like, oh, people can knock you down, and like people are like punching people and shit, and I was always afraid. But I was with Cisco, and he's like, yo, we gotta fucking do it, and they call this thing the wall. I don't. The wall.
Where it's like,
And and I was just like, fuck it. And me and him just started fucking running, and it was just like, boom. And it was like, that was probably one of the craziest things I'd ever done at a concert was like get involved. I never wanted to get involved ever, anytime.
Yeah, and what you guys are talking about as far as it being safe, it's sometimes is not safe at all, and that's what makes it safe. Is we all agree that this is not going to be safe for right now, and like we're all going to like do things that we won't normally do with each other, and that's another, I guess, like a meta safe.
Sure, yeah.
I guess in a way where it's like, yeah, like I'm going to punch you, and like you're going to punch me back, and it's totally cool because we're rocking to this fucking
like
music.
you were saying, it's like there's safety from the agreement that, hey, we're all going to just release as much angst and anger in this 45-minute set that this band is going to play. And if you don't like it, don't be in the pit.
Right.
So that's like everyone knows. If you want to go release all that anger and hate, you go into the pit.
Right.
But that's what kind of makes it safe, is because it's like all these unwritten rules of the pit.
Right.
That you go in there and, like, hey, this guy's going wild. I'm going to go wild. So, like, you're just going wild together, and all of a sudden you have like this connection with all these people, just like going for it.
And if you have like an earring that gets ripped out, it's kind of like having a tattoo. You know, it's like this happened from this experience, and now I got the battle scars to show for it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I love that experience though, especially when it's just chaotic and unpredictable, and everybody just kind of feels elevated and like you're experiencing something kind of transcendent. When a band can do that to an audience, I'm happy to be there.
Yeah, my crazy experience was Avenged Sevenfold at Soma in San Diego. Like when they were like coming out. It was before M Shadows lost his voice or got his voice clipped or whatever. Yeah, and that was nuts. It was Avenged Sevenfold and him, and oh man, I just remember it was crazy.
Well, I bet him was crazy.
Yeah, him was nuts, dude. Yeah, I was I am still a huge him fan, but like, yeah, man, I was.
Whatever happened to those guys?
They did their last tour last year, I think.
Aren't they Swedish or Norwegian or something?
Finnish.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from Finland.
Yeah. You must have loved Viva La Band.
Yeah,
right?
Viva La Band. Like the whole CKY stuff and everything. But the crazy thing was, like, that's not how I got put onto them.
Oh, really?
Which is weird. Yeah, it was just like, I just knew the whole heartogram thing and stuff was like with Bam and him. But Vile designed that logo, and that was, So I actually, I just discovered them independently. I think it was through Napster. I don't remember.
Napster. Wow, now we're bringing it way back.
Yeah, Kazaa, Winimex, like Winamp, or not Win. Oh god, those are the crazy times, dude.
Do you guys find yourself going out and looking for new music, or are you just like content with the music that you used to listen to? Like, are you out there, actually looking for newer artists, or is it?
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's a good question.
So
I'm spending.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He and I actually talk about this all the time, and it's because I've been with the Navy. It like separated me from like actual life and music and reality and all the things going on.
Pop culture,
and culture, right? Well, and really kind of life. I mean, I still talk to my family once in a while, but we talk about this all the time. Where it's like I'll hear something, and he's like, dude, that's like a year old. And I'm like, yeah, but it sounds good. And he's like, yeah, for sure. But it's a year old.
Yeah.
You need to get on the new stuff. And I'm like, but what are you talking about? And then he'll show me something. I'm like, nah, I don't like it.
Yeah. And so, but see, I've had that whole time to be like, to fully digest that, whatever he's showing me, and then move beyond it, and then go to the next thing and fully digest that, move beyond that too. Absolutely. And then he'll bring back that, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, but we're over here now. All of us are over here now. This is what we're all turning up to. So, yeah, like, I guess I wouldn't even call it a guilty pleasure. I don't think there is such thing as a guilty pleasure. It's either just a pleasure or not. So, is like the underground, like hip hop community, but like more like the SoundCloud, like hip hop stuff, and like the more like aggressive, even like from Florida, like that whole South Florida, like in that kind of wave. And just like how raw and like aggressive it is. Even the Chicago drill scene for a while was like a huge thing, but and we talk about that. So that's kind of like what I do. But I also spend a lot of time like on the creative side, like actually actively making the stuff. So I try not to be influenced too much by modern like culture in a way. Like take what you can from it, like bits and pieces, but don't. For me, I don't. I do my best to inject something new, like, you know what I mean, like into the cultural zeitgeist, so to speak.
Yeah, and for me, I don't. I kind of just, I listen to, I'm a big 80s fan. So there's like newer bands coming around and they'll have like a 80s feel, and I'll be like, and I'll hear them. So there was a band I think it was last year at Coachella, I think, that I got onto, and I was like, yeah, like these guys, I like these guys. And they were like old, like the songs that they were playing were like 2 years old, a year old. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, well, but I don't go out and search. I kind of just like, I'll hear something and then I'll search for it. But I don't like actively go out and search for stuff. I just kind of listen to like 90s, 80s, 90s, and then kind of like in that time frame where I was a teenager in high school and was starting to listen to screamo and stuff like that. So I'll listen to that, like I'll listen to their old, like people's old stuff, like Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, right. You know, you're bumping Sheck West on repeat.
When I first heard it, though, no, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard it, and that's another one where he's like, yeah, like actually, a friend of mine from the Navy, he played Mo Bamba, And I was like, what the fuck is this? But then I was like, I'm a big beat person. Like, I like the sound, and if it sounds good, like, I don't necessarily like he shows me a lot of like stuff, and like the lyrics are like, just trash. But I like the beat, like it's hard, and you know, like the boom bop.
Right.
But just 1 year behind everybody else. Or at least 1 year. Dude, I got to show you this thing called the Harlem Shake. It's sick, dude. You're gonna love it.
When did they do this?
It's like it's super nice.
What a blow!
Hey, you know the crazy thing about that Harlem Shake is there was actual Harlem Shake before the Harlem Shake.
There was.
Is that true? Really?
It's very true. Yeah. It's like the it was like that, like the specific type of movement that isn't what that
not at all.
freaking who is it? Not Dylan Francis. Who did the Harlem Shake? I forgot his name, started with a B or something. I don't know, but
I have no idea.
yeah.
But yeah, it was like
Filthy Frank was the guy who originated the crappy Harlem Shake.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys
the
know.
OG Harlem
The
Shake.
I thought it was like from like the show like All in the Family or something like that. I thought that's where it came from.
Dude, what were the biggest trends? It was like the Harlem Shake, and then it was the thing after that was
That slow motion.
Ray Sherman, the Black Beatles. Beatles
right,
in a city where everybody,
where
the
everybody
Beatles challenged,
yeah,
everybody stood still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that on the ship.
Really?
Dang.
I did that one time with my dogs. They were just all sleeping though. And I was alone.
That's so good. That's so good.
Now the latest move now is like the Jaywalk, where
He's like,
I don't even know this.
I didn't know that either.
It's actually a pretty cool dance where like their head, I don't know how to explain it. So like their head moves, but their body stays completely still, and their feet just go.
Interweaving feet.
They move their feet as fast as they can, and it just looks like they're floating.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It's called the Jaywalk?
Yeah, it's a Jaywalk.
No, what was that one? It probably has nothing to do
The
with
Woe
music.
too. There's the Woe. That one's another one.
Where the people would they would do the thing, and they would like stand, and then like.
Oh yeah.
There was
Like
that
like a step, but that didn't take off.
That
like
wasn't like a music thing, but it was.
It didn't take off like you think it did.
Yeah.
These are high level moves though.
It was trippy. Like people were like, yeah, and then like they would do it in front of people, and they would be like like a random stranger would look at them like.
But my favorite part about that move that you're talking about is when they do it in front of a car that's like moving. They're like as if they stepped and then the person will get out and be like, oh shit, is there anything in front of the car or whatever?
Yeah.
Like as if they're stepping over something, which is that's pretty
I think
cool.
you showed me that on Instagram. In New York, I think it was in New York, right?
Yeah.
That was funny,
dude.
And like there was only one person that didn't fall for it. He was like,
Oh yeah, he's like, God.
They came out, they're like, yo, dude.
Yeah, that's funny. I was going to ask you guys a question. I had a question. I'm trying to think of what. Oh yeah, it kind of relates to what we're talking about. What do you think some of the challenges are for the next generation, like that they're going to face?
Dang, I think the next generation are going to want to be as disconnected as possible. Like, I think, I don't think they're going to want anything to do with it. They're going to think we're stupid for, like, plugging ourselves in so much. And they're going to be like, why are you on the TV all the time? And they're going to be playing outside, and you're going to be like, get in here! Get back on the Xbox where I can see you!
That's funny.
That'd be awesome if that actually did happen, though.
That's a good prediction. That's a really good prediction.
I'm going to predict the opposite, actually.
Okay.
Just so one of us is right and one of us is wrong.
Right. You're going to be so plugged in that it's like they are the artificial intelligence?
I think so, yeah.
Definitely. Okay, yeah. But what are the challenges, though, with that?
The challenges?
Global warming.
I mean, that will be a challenge.
Don't die.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I think probably, every generation could probably say this about the next one, but the instant gratification is probably just going to become even more instant and more gratifying, and things that actually take more time to develop, like playing an instrument, are probably not going to be quite as, widely.
Yeah, because you can just like do it on your, basically do it on your fingers.
Yeah.
Really,
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
And also, like, that
wild.
instant gratification thing, a decade ago, it wasn't an uncommon thing for a band to just disappear for 4 years and then come back with, an album, and everyone freaks out like, oh, they brought their album back. If you do that now, no, everyone's just going to forget about you. They're just,
big time.
you won't be relevant. So it's like a constant, a constant stream of new content that artists have to keep putting out in order to stay relevant.
Right.
And I think that's going to be really hard for any up and coming artists is that it's becoming more about quantity than quality.
Right.
So I think they're going to get used to this really watered down version of art.
So like there's going to be less refined, like curated content.
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
gonna
really, really.
Yeah, and
Potent.
so they're not going to have like an appreciation for things that it's like I spent 5 weeks on this one drawing, and they're going to be like, cool, on to the next thing. There's
right.
going to be not going to necessarily be as much of an appreciation for long form art. I don't know.
I see that happening already.
Oh yeah, there's that guy Juice World, I think his name is, or just
Yeah, Juice
and
WRLD.
he bragged about having a track where he worked on it for like 25 minutes or 40 minutes, and then
Yeah.
it's done.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a hit.
Right.
I think as long as there's a demand for that now, it's probably going to become an even stronger demand.
Right. Yeah, he freestyled pretty much like that whole album, Death Race for Love.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend, I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but she verified, like, yeah, he got in there, got on the mic, and just however he was feeling that day, that's what happened, and then they chopped it up, and that was the song.
I mean, it might be really good. I haven't listened to it, but
Yeah, it's he's got some pretty good stuff on there.
okay.
It's kind of like how you did your last music video. One take.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, one take.
That was when you told me that. I was like, shut the fuck up. One take. Who the fuck does a music video in one take?
Yeah, we want to do that with maybe our next one or one soon.
Yeah.
I think that's just a cool concept. And visually, we have always liked, like certain directors who do really long takes. And seeing a one take, 5-minute long song or music video, I think it's just badass.
Yeah, just got here.
Yeah.
I Rolo. This is my plug.
Self plug.
Yeah, a little self plug on my freaking own podcast. I'm plugging my own show. Oh gosh, that's crazy. No, but yeah, like I like to push boundaries, right? So like the last one was like a 4K 360 VR video, right? Like my buddy and I came up with the concept, and my childhood buddy Zach Kupcha from Circulation Media, he's like on the level of just like, yeah, let's do it, let's like figure it out, and then we just come together, throw ideas together, and make it happen, pushing boundaries. And this next one was a single take drone slow-mo video, right? So
That's
it's
cool.
like it's the whole entire time you think that it's just on a gimbal, right? But then afterwards you kind of see, and it's a drone, and it flies away. You're like, oh, dope,
It's in slow-mo.
Yeah, and it's in slow-mo. So I had to do it double time. I had to be like, now we get down to business. I've been living in. I had to like rap super duper fast.
Okay, so we did a very similar thing in our music video that's coming out tomorrow. Is we played the song at double speed. And then we slowed it down so that we look like we're still in sync.
60 frames per second. Exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
So my hair looks like it's going all wild.
It's really hard. It's super hard.
super
Yeah,
hard.
I can't imagine
But
rapping.
we didn't
Yeah.
even do the whole music video. It was just certain sections. But if you like,
What's the video called, by the way, just so when this airs? they'll know.
clairvoyant, bantamweight clairvoyant.
Okay, cool.
Where can they find it?
YouTube.
There's this thing, It's,
Oh,
did you see?
really?
Did you guys see before you keep going on the video? Did you see this thing called YouTube TV?
No.
It was like it popped up. It was like try YouTube TV now, and I was like, "What, dude? Isn't that what YouTube is?"
Is that the thing that every time I open up my YouTube app, it asks me if I
yeah.
want to do that, and I say no every time.
Yeah, no.
You want to start your trial?
Yeah, I don't even read it just to
try out YouTube TV with like unlimited watching, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, what the frick you are already? Like,
Yeah.
I already watch all kinds of YouTube. Like,
I think you can listen to stuff in the background, like if you're using your
yeah,
phone.
well, I think that was YouTube Red. where,
Okay, maybe
hey,
that's
you have
Red.
to subscribe to that. So, but now there's like YouTube TV, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, where it's like it's actual live TV, like they're
Yeah.
showing live sports and stuff
YouTube.
like that.
YouTube television.
Hulu's trying to starting to do that,
yeah.
a sports
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
Wow.
It's everybody's adapting to like the streaming
Oh,
service
yeah,
because like
everybody, the streaming is like everybody's trying to fight
no
each
commercials.
other.
I don't want
Yeah.
any commercials. I just want to curate all my content. Anything I put my attention to, I just want it to be exactly what I want to put my attention to. That's why I
Yeah.
have ad blockers on everything, right?
Me too, and it's a better way. But also, I think every single one of these platforms is having like all this exclusive content, and I think that kind of thing is going to drive people back to piracy, which is what these websites were taking away. Like as soon as Netflix came around, like results for piracy, just were much less searched. But now you have exclusive content on Amazon, exclusive on Hulu, exclusive on Netflix. Now Disney has their own thing going on, and like so you're subscribed to how many services before, and you still can't get Game of Thrones or whatever you want to watch. So you just pirate it. That's what I do.
Yeah, like it's funny to see
Or
like.
don't do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. That's what I don't do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It is all purchased legally.
Yeah. So like we have, for example, we have an interesting kind of thing that's happening with social media where, people like that I've grown up following, I don't know, I'll use like, it's like a lead singer from a band or whatever, right? Like you're just like, you're young, you're 13, 12, 13, you're obsessed with this band. You're like, oh, they're so cool. They're speaking right to my heart. You're like, this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then like you go on their social media now, they have like, I don't know, like 50,000 followers or whatever. It's just like they're just a regular person. And like this chick that's posting pictures of her butt or whatever every hour has 30 million. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I wonder how that actually makes people that were in the limelight before, in like the golden era, right, before social media. I wonder how that makes people feel now.
And imagine growing up with that. I mean, there was a time when we could look up to musicians, and they were kind of the pinnacle of success and fame or whatever.
Right.
And for a lot of people, I'm sure that had the influence of making them want to become a musician.
Right.
And now the girl who takes pictures of her butt, which I'm sure has its own challenges, but it's probably more instantly gratifying.
Right.
And maybe the results are better.
And she's a role model. She's an influencer.
Yeah. So that's what these kids want to be.
Imagine how hard that must be for girls to grow up in an Instagram like society of when they see all these women with fake implants, but they don't know it's implants, and they're just like, why don't I look like that?
Right.
That's gotta suck.
Oh,
like being a girl growing up in this modern day of social media must be the most heartbreaking thing, especially when they're like, I got all this flat stomach, and look how beautiful I am, and they're just like, oh, why don't I look that? Like, because guys, they don't care about that. They eventually care about it when they go into teenager years, but like when you're 12, you don't care about that. You just want to play like video games and you want to like get in the dirt and stuff. Like
right.
That's what you care about. But because girls mature so much faster than guys, like I can't even imagine the stress that puts on them.
Oh yeah. It's like
at what level or
hard,
what time do they figure out like, oh yeah, I'm hot enough to be on Instagram? Like you get those. Like if you hit the search button on Instagram, right? Or not, you don't hit it, but tap it. And I'm so fucking old. And it'll pull up like things that you like or whatever, right? And then you'll go and you'll hit whatever, and you'll see like this hot girl, and then there's another hot girl, and I'm just like, dude, like how many of these girls are just like, I want to be on Instagram, so I'm just gonna take a bunch of hot pictures of myself, and then just like that's how you become famous.
I mean, it's the new rock star,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
really
like
wild.
you see these Twitch streamers that are online. All they do is sit in a chair and play video games, and they're just getting incredible money.
Hundreds of thousands of people just
and all the money that's rolling in, and they're just like, oh, what? That guy just gets all this money. It's the new rock star, because being a rock star takes too much work,
right,
and it's that instant gratification again, where it's like. You could either be a rock star where, there are no rock stars anymore.
Not really, yeah.
It's like, I don't know what you would call it, a rap star, because it's like trap is the new big thing.
Right.
So all the trap stars, I don't know what you would call them.
Trap stars?
Yeah, trap stars.
Yeah.
But, there's since all the rock stars are dead.
Maybe artists? You can call them an artist?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Art stars.
tough.
Art stars.
Art stars.
Dude. Yeah, we'll be the first art stars, dude.
Art stars.
I mean,
Such a lame.
We're technically kind of doing it now with just like the like I guess we're kind of like in like the tail end of like a big podcast boom thing. But we're still like I feel like we're still kind of in the middle of the wave, starting this podcast and doing podcasts and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think right now we're in a content economy. I genuinely feel that like if you're actively creating content, you will be relevant somehow. There'll be some sort of reward somewhere from something. Maybe it's in the form of a new opportunity. It's not always going to be monetary. There's not always going to be a check associated with every, gain that you get or every opportunity that you get. But yeah, and if you look for the check in every opportunity, you're going to be limited too, because you got to see other things as valuable.
Yeah, because it's all about just putting it out there, because you can't get recognized if you're not out there in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's just the hardest part. I think a lot of people have trouble, understanding that. It's like, what's the word? They have this entitlement. I'm like, oh, I deserve this. And it's well, what are you doing? Well, nothing. It's like, well, you can't have an entitlement when you're not working towards something.
Right.
You shouldn't have an entitlement at all, but, that's a perfect way of putting it. It's a content economy. So like you have to constantly put that content out, and it's all about getting that following is the freaking hardest thing.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, we were celebrating because we just broke 300 followers, and that's nothing, compared to other people. But like,
Right,
we were at 299, 298. Wake up the next day, 299. 2 hours later, 296. And it was just this battle, and then finally we broke it. And it was like, yeah, we broke 300. Big celebration. We didn't actually celebrate, but it's just like, that moment of like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's the little battles. You got to be like, the little things, just small things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And with your guys' Instagram, too, what I really liked was the little skits that you guys do.
Yeah.
Within, you'll make music, but you'll put, like, some of your music to that. And so you can talk about a little bit of the skits and how you come up with the ideas and why do you do the skits?
I mean, why we do them is pretty easy. Simply to just get eyes on us, really. I mean, that's like having a constant stream, like we were talking about, of content going out there is incredibly important. And Instagram is the surest way to see that. I mean, every time we put a video out, we'll get more followers. And so it's a very tangible way to see growth. And it's somewhat related to our music because we almost always put music in there in some fashion. And we figure if they're coming there because they like our personality or the videos that we put together, then maybe they'll check out our music and maybe they'll like our music. If not, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't be putting music out all the time because music takes forever.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a labor-intensive art that you're
good music,
and you're constantly working on it. So the skits are just a cheap and easy way to just like put content out there. That's not just because I'm not. When people just take constant pictures of things, it's like, oh, okay. But when you see a video, it's just like if you can get their attention for that much longer, you're winning that battle.
Well, that's the interesting thing because like I know a few celebrities, right, that like millions of people follow, right, and so they still have that mentality. They still have that like, oh, I just got 3.5 million followers, like they're so excited about it, you know what I mean, as if they just got 300 or 200 or 100, and they're struggling with getting attention.
Sure.
And it's like almost like a war for attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Their
it's like,
livelihood depends on it.
right. And so it's so the content economy, attention economy, but it's really humbling to know that somebody that has like hundreds of thousands of followers, right, is like bummed out about only getting 10, 20,000 views on their video, and you're just like, damn, even you care about like that much, and you're that low. You're like feeling that bad about only getting that amount. Where we're over here like, damn, like I'll take that 500, bro. Like I'll take 1,000, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and even that in and of itself, there are venues that will look at you like you can have amazing world-class content, but if you don't have that marketing edge or that ability to market it correctly, then nobody will see it.
Yeah,
like it's.
That's another thing that really changed about the music industry is that you can't play places if you don't have a solid following.
Right.
So if that's the first thing that they're going to look at, that, hey, can I play your venue? Yeah. What's your social media? You'll send it over and they'll be like, you only got 300 followers. Like, I don't know if you should play here. Maybe when you guys are a little more popular, you can play here.
Yeah, it's like the new resume.
It's exactly like that. But before, bands, there was no social media, so they're like, hey, we're a live band, and they're like, you good? Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Get on stage. It was
right.
That was it. So now everyone has a resume. There's no hiding. Everything's there. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
It
is tough, and you see it even going further into like the personal realm, like in China, for example, how there's like a social rating system being implemented.
That's disastrous.
And I would say that might, to answer that question I asked you guys earlier, that might be a challenge for the next generation if they implement something like that here, where it's like almost like a credit rating system, where it's like, oh yeah, dude, like they did not tip that Uber ever. They never tipped Uber, like fail that guy, or like that. I don't even want to hang out with them. It's like, what? Because I don't tip Uber, I don't get friends now? Like, are you kidding me? That's weird, And so, sure. But it's like, yeah, that's the extent of which a social rating system can kind of go, and it can go even far more meta than that, like
Justin Timberlake's and what's her face's movie, with
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Time.
Or Black Mirror, like that Black Mirror episode. I don't know if you guys follow Black Mirror. Do you
I
guys
saw
watch
a
it?
few episodes.
Oh, dude, that show just drives me nuts. It's awesome. I love it. But at the same time, it's like, dang, that's literally how it could be if on the
Sure.
negative side, you know?
Yeah,
like,
The
Yeah.
White Christmas episode was one of the ones I've seen.
man.
And,
Which
yeah,
one is that?
that one's crazy,
dude.
bro.
Okay, so I'm not going to ruin it, spoiler alert or anything,
Okay.
but just imagine being able to copy your consciousness, right? So, like, I take out Keith, like, I go, okay, your consciousness, like, say, for example, you committed some crime or you witnessed a crime or something like that and you don't want to tell anybody, right? And it's like, okay, that's fine. You know, I take out your consciousness and I put it in somewhere, and then like I have somebody sit down and interview you, and like your consciousness doesn't know that it's gotten extracted and gotten copied. You know what I mean? And it's just like just a copy of your consciousness up to that point, to the point of the point I extracted it. And so it then eventually confesses to whatever it was, and you're just going about your daily life, and all of a sudden it's just like boom, locked up, or boom, whatever.
Sure.
You know,
I mean,
oh,
we're
man.
already experiencing a sort of lessened version of that with the, with our privacy being invaded. Not that it's
Yeah.
being actively invaded, but that's certainly the concern that's being raised by if somebody can access all of your internet history or something, then they can glean a lot of information about you that you
Right.
maybe wouldn't want them to know.
Right, and Edward Snowden, when he revealed, what the NSA was doing and how invasive they've actually been as far as getting into our devices, and
Yeah.
that opened up a whole new perspective for people of privacy. And
Yeah.
it was like now there's going to be a little bit of a what I would say privacy economy too, where
Sure. Yeah,
people
yeah.
are marketing off of people's desire to have privacy,
Yeah.
or banking off of people's desire to have privacy,
Yeah.
and so.
And our phones are just an extension of our consciousness, really. I mean,
Right.
it's easily extractable.
Right, like Elon was talking about how we already are cyborgs.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
like I can literally know anything right now. You ask me a question, any question, I'll answer it for you with the assistance of my good old Siri friend or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really creepy though. I don't know. I'm not one to. I've always I'm like a private person, but at the same time, I'm like if somebody's watching me, like if they hacked my computer or hacked my phone and they're like just sitting there watching me, I'm like, nah. Like I had this a buddy of mine from class, and he showed me this website. I'm not going to say what website it is, but there's a website full of hacked cameras,
I've seen that,
shit.
yeah.
and it's trippy.
Wow, yeah, dude, like
really crazy.
that's crazy. Because I feel like I feel when somebody's watching me. Like I'll be singing in
You
the
do,
car.
you do,
I'll
I
be
know you
singing
do.
in the car or something like that, and then I'll be like, yeah, I just said some weird shit. I don't know, like a stupid rhyme that doesn't make any kind of sense,
Yeah.
and I'll just look down at my phone and be like. But I'm not recording
You
or
just
anything,
judged me.
I just like, yeah, you heard that? Yeah, all right, that's right,
Yeah.
why did I do that? I didn't like that fuck. Like it's, I don't know. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be one of the challenges, I think, is privacy
Absolutely.
going forward for the next generation.
Yeah, and especially the more aloof they become, and we said in terms of privacy, then they'll just be happy to give it away. I mean, we've already given it away in our generation
Right.
to a great extent.
So it's going to be giving away privacy, being okay with mediocre content, and celebrating even mediocre content. Wow, that's going to be wild.
They're kind of already doing that, right? With like
That's happening now.
Mumble rap.
Well, yeah,
Isn't
but
it?
like,
Yeah.
see, the thing about mumble rap that trips me out is it's so highly produced. It's intensely produced. Like, the beat is fire. Like, if you listen to the beat, you're like,
Yeah.
damn, I could vibe to this. And it's like,
Right.
we're going to a bitch and I'm still going to a bitch and I'm tickle the titties and we're going to lean and I'm sipping and lean. And I'm just like, what? Okay, but it's still like,
Do you know
all right,
that-
fuck the lyrics, but like that beat is dope.
Do you remember who created mumble rap in our group like 10, 11 years ago? Me.
No,
I created
you created mumble rap.
I created mumble rap. Well, you guys were
he-
really good at it, and you made fire ass beats or got fire ass beats from your friends, and I was over here saying, and I was like making no sense in it, and then but the funny part is you fucking love it. You
Yeah,
like it.
I always
was
loved
like,
it, dude.
It was like some stupid ass like you were actually saying that shit today.
I don't give a fuck if it's only time. What are you
Yeah, it's
talking
like, yeah,
about,
it's
bro?
like, I don't know what the fuck I was saying.
Hello, this is the first time I rhyme. Like,
Yeah.
That's all dash for you, dude.
And I was like, it was a fire ass beat.
You're the Al Gore of mumble rap, dude.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
invented mumble rap.
I really am.
That's quite an honor.
And that was like 10 years ago, yeah. And we were just talking about it too. What what were we watching before they showed up? Something on Instagram or something, and it was the guy. He was talking on the phone. He was like making skits.
Oh yeah.
And
Like, why'd you cheat on her? Why'd you cheat on her? Oh no, I'm on the phone.
And these people would like look at him. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, me and my friends would go to like the fair, and we'd like kind of like do like a juke jive in front of people, and so they'd be like or we'd like fall over trash cans and stuff, and just like make people laugh, and like one of our friends would be off in the distance like recording it all.
Right.
And it's just like that shit's funny and cool now. Like it was cool and funny like when Jackass was doing it, and it was like, but it was like they did like an extreme version.
Yeah.
But you see people doing it now, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, where the fuck were these people to create YouTube and Instagram 10 fucking years ago? Like,
yeah, it was a desire for that
Facebook,
to be exposed to the
MySpace.
world, like a desire for shit that regular people do to share it with the world, because you can relate to it. You can relate to it so much that it becomes globally popular. I think.
super bummed about it though.
So like,
Too old to do it now.
yeah, like being viral, right? That's kind of
viral.
like the way to go,
Yeah.
right? Like, do you guys feel like you create your skits and like maybe subconsciously hope like, oh, if one of these skits takes off, that would be so good for our
Heck
brand?
no, we just think it's a stupid, funny idea, and we're just like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
it's the same-
probably the
yeah.
best approach.
That's how we were doing it back in the day.
It is consciously something though that we think about, like, are people going to actually enjoy this, and are people going to want to like show this to their friends or whatever? Because I
Right.
mean that actually, like, you know, it leaves more of an impression than something that you might just like scroll past. So we'll never go viral. I mean, we've done. It's not even on our mind whatsoever.
Stamped. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This better not go viral.
It's funny about the Black Mirror that we're talking about, because one of their skits kind of reminds me of like Black Mirror. I don't know how you guys did it when you were standing at like an angle, but you could see Keith's face with your hair. Like, that was cool. Like, no,
Yeah.
for real though. Like, it's dope as fuck.
That was a really hard shot.
It was.
actually.
It took us like probably 40 minutes to figure that out.
And then like you open the mirror up, and then it was just you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck? And then I asked you how you did the overexposed like white, and you're like, it was just a white bed sheet. And I was like, what? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Occam's razor, dude. It's an old philosophy term. It means the simplest solution to a problem is often the correct one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that's
Often the cheapest one too.
Yeah,
That's
the cheapest. Yeah.
That's probably like one of the most difficult things is there's a punk mentality that comes with everything that's like, screw the system, right?
Right.
And I think everyone hates social media to a point, but they also depend on it.
Right.
So it's that thing of how much social media do you put out there? You know, you have to be completely dependent on it in this day and age in order to really put your content out there. But
Right.
it's also like, man, screw social media. Like it had its place, and it's kind of like in this corporate mode of just like full mast corporations. Just they all put their hands in there. Like YouTube used to be the Wild West of videos.
Right.
And now you get two unskippable ads before you can watch a pig roll in mud. You
Right,
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
That they decided to put on their channel.
right.
to monetize
So
it.
it's this weird dynamic that you got to figure out. It's a tool. It shouldn't be a lifestyle. And you know, when all of a sudden you make it your lifestyle, that's where things go wrong, because it's just a tool. That's the way we see it. It's like, hey, let's put out this stupid skit because we think it's funny, not because we care about what other people think. I mean, we're not going to be putting offensive stuff out there. You know,
Right.
it's smart. Like, it's not smart. It's dumb comedy, but you have to be smart with it, where it's like, you know, we know it's not offensive. We're not offending anyone. If anyone's being offended, it's that we're making ourselves look like idiots, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Always make yourself the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
That's pretty much the idea.
Yeah, you know, and
That's
so
cool.
that's the only reason we put it out. Like, we're going to be shooting one on Thursday, and it started out as a simple idea, and the skit is Max will be talking to someone, and they're going to be like, "Oh, so you know, what are you doing?" And Max is going to say, "Oh, I'm in a band," and they'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. So what's your day job?" And, you know, just kind of like, you know, one of those moments where it's like, you know. But so it first was just going to be that, but then we kept riffing on it, and now it's turned into this thing where Max is going to be like almost crying, and then he's going to grab a jean jacket and like sunglasses, and the next shot is going to be him like driving into the sunset, and it's going to have like this really cheesy 80s music. It's an 80s remix that I made of Enya's yeah, and he's going to be like on the hood of his car like thinking real deep, and we're going to do all these fade-ins with like just close-up of shots of Max's face, and I take this horrible keyboard solo. Like, it was a one-take keyboard solo, and it doesn't even make any melodic sense. And I'm just going to be in the background, just, like, ripping it on a keyboard. So it's just stupid stuff like that. You know, we enjoy it. It's fun to do.
It sounds like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
It's going to be fire.
And I'm biased because you said 80s. So I'm heavily biased now. Like, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, I fucking love it.
Have you guys
how can I not love this like 1,000 times?
Have you guys heard of New Retro Wave?
Yeah,
that's my shit, dude. I love that's like, that's even the opening for this podcast is an '80s beat I made, like a synthesized beat.
Oh, really?
That's like under the vein of
And
80s.
there's a real reason because I love it, and I was like, we should just do this, and he was like, yeah. And I was like,
and if I made it and he likes it, it's going in, bro.
Yeah. I feel like I've always been Roland's #1 fan.
Yeah.
Like if I was like this like teeny bopper girl, I'm like, yes, Rolo.
Yeah, but the only thing is, like, I'm always defensive with this guy. He's always just like, yeah, but I just don't think that you should have done this. I'm like, yeah, but you're not. Other people said it's dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should have done that. I'm just going like defensive as shit because of how much stuff he's liked. So that's cool.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you create, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, but there's also stuff that I don't like that I created that you're like, I love that. I'm like, why do you like that?
But that's hard because you got to listen to both of those because like when that one person you're close with, they're just like, oh man, that beat you made is awesome. And it's like, oh man, I don't like it. It's like you got to listen to them because they're hearing something that you don't. Because when you create something, you know every inch of it. Like you just created this whole thing. You know how it was built.
Right.
And so you keep hearing it, and you're like, oh, man, it's no good. And then someone else hears it, and they're like, wow, that's incredible. And you're like, you don't know what you're talking about, you idiot. This is bad.
Love is Tricky is one of the songs that I love that he likes, or that he made that I like. And he's just like, nobody likes it. And I'm just like, well, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking because some of the things that you say, like, I'll listen to it maybe like 25, 30 times already. And maybe even more than that.
It's more than I have.
And then I'll like text you and I'll be like, yo, is this what you said in this song? Because there's like things that like I didn't hear that I'll hear again, and I'm like, oh shit, like the references that you make about like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise like being in like movies together, like it's just
deeper
like
than I thought.
It's pretty funny and it's cool, and I think Wrinkly. That's another one that you.
I do like that one though.
Yeah, but I don't know why you don't like, dude. What the way that you flow and the beat for "Love Is Tricky." Like, I wish we could play it right now and like everybody could hear it, but I'll have to like put it like real silent in the background when I edit this, and then be like, oh yeah, so go ahead and just. Create like a URL, like a little like thing you can click on here and go download.
Wait, when you edit this?
Well, you know what I mean. Like when we edit this. I'm sorry. My apologies.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, songs like that. It's really crazy because I don't know if you guys have experienced this as musicians, where you play to like family or friends or whatever it is, and you know, like. You show them like maybe a YouTube video or maybe a song on Bandcamp or Reverb Nation or SoundCloud or even Spotify or iTunes, and like they hear the song, they're like, "Oh, this is cool. Why don't you put it out there?" And you're just like, for me, I'm just like, the only way you could have just heard this is me putting it out there. Like this is literally, I took your phone and I looked myself up and I played it on your phone. It's out there, you know. It's like,
why didn't you send it to Rolling Stone?
Yeah,
like you put it on K-Rock.
Dude, that's how you did it back in the day.
Yeah. Have you mailed it to a record label yet? It's like, no, you can't mail things anymore.
I just listened to Gary Vee and I sent a link to it to like 1,000 people in their DMs. Because that's what Gary Vee says to do.
Yeah, and then 3 people will be like, I kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
But I think
those are the three people that matter.
when you're an artist, I think the hardest thing in the entire world is showing your loved ones. Yourself? Aha. No, I don't what?
Like promoting yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's like showing the work that you made because, I mean, you know they're going to be supportive. So when people are going to have your back no matter what, it's hard to see if they're telling the truth or if they're just like, oh no, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like, are you just saying that or is it bad? You can tell me. But because the first thing that's going to happen is when you show loved ones, they're not going to understand because it's like,
you're this dude to them.
Yeah.
Somebody
So
else.
like when someone who doesn't know you personally see your art, they only know your artist side.
Right.
Whereas like family members, you have to show them your family side of like, hey, like kind of like, I don't know, the artist side and the family or just your people person are completely different things. Like one's like pure raw emotion that has been created in some sort of consumable form.
Right.
And you can't just show that to people, because that's, it's you in its purest form kind of thing. So when people outside of your circle see that, they're like, oh man, I can get with that. But when you're showing people that are really close to you, you're like completely naked when you show them that stuff. Not really. You're not like naked in the room with them.
Stop showing yourself to your family.
It's like, this is cool music, but so why are you naked?
It's my bass solo.
But yeah, it's so difficult trying to show family members because I don't know. I guess it's a form of caring for them when it's like, yeah, here's my art form, but they're not going to get it.
Right.
Like showing my grandmothers and stuff,
Like, oh, I remember you in your diaper. Yeah, this is so cute. Oh, you making the music now. Nice.
Wow, why is your music so dark?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like,
but it's not.
It's very, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. I know you guys are Elon Musk fans. I know you guys before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He even said it in I think SpaceX or some interview he was doing about SpaceX, how it's incredibly important to solicit an honest opinion, and it's also incredibly difficult. I mean, there's only like a small handful of people that we know that will give us an honest opinion of something that we do. And even then you have to read between the lines a little bit. But people, if they know you, if they're friends with you, they're just going to say something that makes you feel good,
I think that's why we're friends though, is because we could no matter how much we pump each other up, we definitely he gets on my nerves a lot, and I feel like I get on his nerves a lot. But yeah, being able to tell you honestly, this is how I honestly feel, even though you didn't ask me to. And I was actually just talking with Aubrey about this. He's like, "But did he ask you for your opinion?" I was like, "No, but I feel like I'm supposed to be that friend to him that tells him
how actually feel."
Both. I mean, it should be solicited and it should be given.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my sister always just digs into me, dude. She's like my little big sister.
Yeah,
I guess the way I can explain it, dude. And because she came 10 years later, right? And so she's part of another generation pretty much, but yet she knows musically she spent so much time studying all kinds of different music, and she just kind of objectively knows what's good and what's not, and she just just drives over the years. She's just been very, very mostly critical, but I think it's helped. I think the intense criticism that she's kind of bestowed upon me has been fuck, dude, okay, I see what she's saying now. Okay, you got to kind of refine your art process. If you're gonna put it out there, make sure that it's actually really, really good quality, and just do your best, and because, yeah, man, it's crazy how much close family members can really get under your skin like that too, because they know who you really are, It's like you were saying, the artistry side versus the other. But yeah, man, it's a wild journey being an artist.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any hopes of venues to play, or any kind of venues that you may have played in the past that you're oh yeah, we actually scored that? Or
there's one, so it's this bowling alley. And it is the most incredible experience of a bowling alley you will ever go to, because it's as if the owner when he built the bowling alley in the 90s, he built the place and then never fixed it up. It just started deteriorating, and all the, they have to have TV screens above all of the bowling alleys. Some of them are broken. Some of them have been replaced. They're all those old, what are they, CCTV?
Yeah, CRT.
Yeah, CRT TVs, and some of them are broken, and like they're showing like the Matrix has been frozen for like, since 1999, and like Neo and his like, and it is just such a Twilight Zone of a place. It is bizarre, but they have this eating area that sometimes they clear out the tables and chairs, and there's a stage. And we've gone to a couple of shows there for our friends, and it is the purest form of underground music ever. It's literally only young kids are putting it on together. It's purely underground, and when it's packed, it's bumping hard, and there's chairs and stuff, and kids will try to stand in the chairs, and the owner is like this. He's probably 60, but he looks 80 because he probably hasn't stopped smoking since he was 12. And he walks in there, and he has like a gimp in his right leg, and he comes in there looking like he's in pain, and he looks at a kid, and he points at him, and he goes, points down, and the kid goes, oh, and he gets down on the chair. And yeah, it's a really cool spot, and I want to just play there really bad to just a bunch of people that arrive there just to see you,
right?
Because that's where like those pure forms of music are in those really intimate small venues.
I think that's what we crave now because of how exposed everything is.
Yeah, especially since it's become kind of this festival culture where the only time you get to see your band is like in these huge festivals or in huge arenas, where all of a sudden playing in small venues is completely lost now, So when you get a chance to see these bands, and a lot of these bands are just our friends, so experiencing them play, and there's 25 other people that have gathered there, it's this just pure moment of everyone just enjoying music, and that's it. No one's phones are out, everyone's just like purely there for the art of music and whatever they're producing. And I don't know, it's incredible. And I just want to play that place to, a bunch of people that have come there to see us.
Right.
And that's probably one of my favorite venues to date, is this crappy Twilight Zone bowling alley where the bathroom is the sketchiest place. There's
still cocaine from 1995.
Yeah, so one of the best parts about the bathroom is you walk in, there's windows, but they're like blacked out, and the lights don't work. So
you were telling me about this.
And there's 4 urinals on the wall. 3 of them are next to each other, and then there's one of them. The wall makes an L, and so there's 3 urinals on one side, and then on the other side is a urinal, but they all have at least 4 inches between each one of them.
At most.
At most. And so there's literally 2 urinals like L'd together. So there's
no way you could.
Everybody's waiting for that one.
Yeah.
But that's the best thing, is that on the 3 on the wall, 2 of them have garbage bags on them. So the only 2 you can use are the
Those
2
2
L'd ones.
Oh, no.
So it's like,
So you're like holding hands with your buddy while you're taking a piss.
So it's like you have to be like cheek to cheek with the guy if you both have to use the urinals. And there's 2 toilets, but one of them also has a trash bag on it. And none of the sinks work. And there's no freaking paper towels there. And they have those hand blowers for the water, but they don't work.
Oh, wow.
So you just like, you go in there and you're washing your hands in the sink, and then you try the air blower, then you try to like, wave your hand on and you just have wet hands, and you're just like, what is this place?
Yeah.
Don't say the name of it though.
Yeah, right. We're going to get this place shut
It's
down.
super magical.
You're really going to get it shut down.
No, yeah, dude, it's like the urinal scene reminded me of the one Ben Stiller and Alec Baldwin. I don't remember what movie it was, but he was like grabbing his ear.
Along Came Polly.
Yeah. That's what you would have to do, man. Jeez, you're like that close with someone. Like, hey, dude, just you go out there, have a good show, bro.
Good laugh.
That's awesome.
You don't even have to slap each other in the ass. You're already like touching each other in the ass. It's kind of like a.
Oh, thank you, man.
Quick rub.
Yeah.
Are there any places you want to play, Max?
The locker room would be really cool. It's
Oh,
the
locker
locker room
room's
at the
so
Garden
cool.
Grove Amphitheater. I think it's like below ground.
It's literally a locker room.
Yeah, it's literally just a
Really?
locker room. I think
Oh,
that would be
dope.
really cool.
That's
I don't
dope.
think
It's
I've ever
very
heard of
punk.
this before.
That sounds like Fight Club happens down there.
It is a little bit, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very punk.
You see the bands on stage, and there's literally at least 6 inches from where the ceiling is. It's just a really small, like, basement kind of locker room, and
Tight.
yeah, it's super cool.
I think I'd get all claustrophobic and shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you guys want to. It's too tall for you guys. You have to be this short to
Yeah,
enter.
right?
You know.
Exactly. Can you imagine?
Got a height
Imagine
requirement.
You can't be more than 5'11" to go to this concert. That's like one of your favorite bands of all time, and you're just like,
You just have to be crouching the entire time.
This one's for the kids.
you better get me in a motherfucking wheelchair because
Yeah.
I'm seeing this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wow. What would be your what would be the weirdest chewing gum flavor that you could come up with?
Ooh. I mean, the possibilities are pretty limitless. I mean, shoe.
Oh shit!
Oh, dude, yeah.
I kind of know what
Oh.
shoe tastes like. Like
No, I got a good one. Pre-chewed gum. So just
like no
imagine,
flavor?
just
No,
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 but
with,
there's
like,
a
saliva,
It's like
like-
there's a hint of flavor on there, but you know, have you ever chewed gum for like way too long,
Yes.
and it's
it
just
starts to get soggy.
it's all soggy and nasty?
Yeah.
What if there was just that flavor in chewing gum?
Okay.
or
Yes.
like in high school and like you're making out or something like that, and the girl decides to put the gum in your mouth as like a show of affection or
You're
something.
like, thank you, I think.
Are you sending me a message? Is this like, do I have bad breath? What is this?
This gum is making it worse.
Yeah.
It's like a hint that you
Pre-chewed
like
chew
want to
gum.
have sex.
You know those jelly beans that have like those weird flavors? Like
Oh, I just had them on Sunday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What do you remember any flavors? Like
Yeah, I remember a lot of them. There was one that was buttered popcorn, and it's bull crap.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the nastiest flavor. It's like literally just butter. Who wants to just eat a buttered flavored jelly bean? Like, I know there's people out there that their favorite food is butter. I'm cool with that. You can have, butter's a magnificent thing, but when it's a jelly bean,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Dude, wasn't there like a meat flavored jelly bean or something where it's like you're expecting right? It's like you're expecting like it's like jelly bean, but it's like it tastes like a burger, but weird.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's the future Willy Wonka style. You know, the never-ending gobstopper where you
Yeah.
just throw it in
Oh,
your
yeah.
mouth. Oh, what was
Birdie
it?
Bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like black licorice flavor.
Oh, I had
It's
that the other night too.
worst.
Yeah, I tried
And
it
that's-
again just last night or on Sunday to make sure that I hate it. And
Oh,
I do.
as an adult.
And
Yeah.
so it's like
'Cause
that,
I-
like the butter one for you is probably black licorice for me. Like I eat it, like I can remember it
Oh,
now. Like
just
I don't
thought
even
of
have to.
I
I
just
don't even
thought
have
of a
to
gnarly one.
chew it or eat it or like put it in my. I know what it tastes
Oh,
like,
dude.
and I just want to throw up right now.
I just thought of a gnarly flavor.
For gum.
Yeah. Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like how would you like put that in your mouth and it starts to burn and shit? Oh, dude. I kind of want to do it though. I kind of want to do it just to see.
I would try it.
Like
Yeah, why
Because you
not?
know how it smells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing though. Like,
Oh,
like
I
it's,
hate
it's,
that smell.
It would
You don't
clear
like
you
it?
right
I
out.
fucking hate it, dude.
I love the
if,
way that like. You're,
Oh,
and it's just like,
dude. Okay. No. fuck that shit.
Josh doesn't even use it when he's like sick. He's just always putting it on him. He's got like a 5-gallon bucket of Vicks Vapor Rub. He's just
Every
like,
single morning, he's like, "Good morning, babe."
my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I'm lubing myself up."
you call me Vicks from now on.
Vic. Give myself a good rub. Gotta give myself a rub, babe. You gonna rub one out? No, you have no idea. Much better than that.
You crying? No, it's the Vicks.
You smell a little weird. Oh yeah.
Like he
Fresh.
goes into the bathroom. There's dudes doing cocaine, and they're like, "You want some?" Nah, man. I got some Vicks. Just puts it under his nose, and he's like crying a little. He's like, "You guys want some?"
I'm fucking ready to go. Fucking Vicks, man. Oh.
I'm surprised you don't like Vicks.
I can't stand it.
It's too good.
Okay, so like our kids were like under the weather one time, and like like it was like there was congestion. It was like right when it was like fall was turning into winter, and my wife was like rubbing some Vicks on their chest, so they could wake up, like better noses, whatever. That shit stayed under the bed for like 3 months, and I could not figure out what the fuck the smell was coming from, and I was like, where is this smell? It smells like cat piss with like freaking Mentos, like.
But dude, your sinuses are probably clear.
That's probably why he could smell it.
Yeah. Why does everything smell all of a sudden?
Yeah. Mutually exclusive. Yeah, dude. Like so. Yeah, man. I can't stand the smell. I don't know what it is about Vicks. Maybe I just had like a traumatic experience with it when I was little. I got literally sick sometime, and they're like, "Rub this on you," and I was like, "What the fuck," or something. But I don't know.
Vicks is the same as Icy Hot to me.
I
don't think Icy Hot does anything. It's a spray. Like, it's not hot or cold. It's just a feeling on your leg.
Right.
So it's like more of a mental thing of like, hey, this is kind of tingly. Must be healing my leg.
Yeah. It's like, different than what my leg felt before.
It's not hot in temperature. It's not cold in temperature. You just sprayed it or rubbed it on your leg. Like,
right.
Shaq, fucking, he put it all over himself. You even put the pad. You get the pads now.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to spray it. Yeah, you put the pad on your back.
Icy Hot on your back.
Okay, here's a question. Why don't they use like for Icy Hot? Why don't they just isolate the hot and then we can use that to like make ourselves warm when it's cold outside?
Damn.
You mean like hot pads?
Hot pad? No, because that actually heats up, right? It's like
make a Icy Hot.
Like just the hot
actually
part
function
of Icy Hot. Just
the
hot
the
part.
cold, like the cold temperature, like activates the heat, and it just is like warm. That would be dope.
Would it actually be hot though?
It feels hot, right?
Maybe it's just a feeling. Like you have hypothermia and your limbs are about to fall off, but it feels like it doesn't.
If people drink alcohol,
what
it makes
about
you feel warm.
Yeah, it's true.
So like, what if you took that idea of Icy Hot and you like combined it with sunscreen? So like, let's say, you put sunscreen on so you don't get sunburned. But what if you used it and you put like this cream on your skin when it's super hot out and it just keeps you really cool? Yeah. So it just like, it's a heat sink. So it just absorbs all the heat. So you're just like, nice, even temperature.
You guys created the opposite.
That's true. Why do we have Icy Hot but not icy or hot?
Yeah, you created hot and you created
How come
icy.
we can only get both? We want separate,
New Icy Hot.
The scientists at the lab are like, we can't do this. You can only have both.
It's because we named it that. That's why you can't do it. You can't do it.
How did you come up with the name? I had Vicks under my nose.
Or underneath my bed for 3 months.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's too fucking funny. I wish I could have been there when you found it. Like you're like, victory.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great feeling, man. I knew I will no longer smell this crazy smell in this room because the lid was open.
How did that happen?
I don't know, man. I think it was just like
one of the kids.
Yeah, put it on the kids, set it down, and then boom, they kick it under the bed, and.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that's pretty darn underrated is like good smelling things in houses, like candles, for instance. It's hard to find a scent of something because there's those companies that make those like twistable things where it just like smells.
Yeah.
And there's one that's it's like raspberry, and it's like, okay, I don't want my house to smell like candy. Just make it smell better.
Right.
I don't want it lemon. Fine, I'm cool with that. But when they start getting into like, tropical breeze, it's like, I don't want my house to smell like a freaking fruit punch bowl. Just make it smell nice.
Yeah, and you're committing to that smell.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a waste of money. Like, and candles are even harder. Like,
there should be layers.
Oh,
that would be great.
That's genius.
Yeah.
They have those candles where they're like layered in different smells. But I'll be at the store just like, that's good. For hours, dude. We'll sit there and like smell all the candles and then maybe not even buy one.
So I have this one that I love. It's called Coronado Cherry. It's the one that you're talking about. You open it up and then.
Like the renews it.
Or
is it,
no.
Or is it Glade?
No, it's the it's in a can and you open it like cat food and then you put the thing back on and you can like open it up. Anyway, my wife hates it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that smell, like the smell of cherry. I love that smell.
It's really toxic chemicals, like designed to smell like
really.
cherry.
She fucking hates it. And like you were talking about, like I don't want it to smell like candy, but like for some reason, like I don't really give a fuck if it smells like candy. Like that, just like that scent. And she's just like, I put it in there. I when she was using that car, I washed it and everything, vacuumed it out, and I was like, Coronado cherry. And I opened it up, and that's how I found out that she fucking hated it. Was because and she's like, I had to roll down all the windows and drive, and my hair got all messed up, and I'm like, that shit smells good though. Like, how do you hate that? She's like, I fucking hate it. You gotta get it out of the car. I'm like,
Dang.
but
Coronado
why?
Cherry. Why is it called Coronado cherry?
I don't know.
That's how they come. I don't know how they
Cornell
come up with
cherry.
these. We have two pretty bad smells going on right now. In our studio, we have one that you may have smelled. It kind of smells like bug spray.
I don't know that I smell.
It's-
I smell like an old building.
Okay,
That's how it smells.
so
Yeah.
our building probably has black mold. So
Oh, yeah, it's probably-
and
Oh,
we
fuck
have
me.
we have a sink in there. I probably shouldn't talk about like the building too much, but we have a sink in there, and when someone uses like another sink in the building, a very specific one, our sink backs up.
Oh.
So we just get nasty old backup smell, and like so we
That's rough.
we constantly have to like keep putting good smelling stuff in there, and the fans are always going to blow out that nasty stank. And
That's why I
you
didn't
know,
smell it.
I would probably use more candles if they weren't a fire hazard,
Right,
you know,
right,
because
yeah.
I forget to turn off
Oh,
the
yeah.
freaking oven.
Yeah,
so there's
candles.
no way I'm gonna like light a candle, be like, smells so good, and then I'm gonna leave, come back, the house is gonna be down
Yeah.
in ash. So like I would use more candles, but if they weren't a fire hazard, so I'm just stuck with chemicals, you know.
Coronado cherry.
Coronado
I can
cherry.
check that one out.
Sea
Anything's
breeze.
better than what we have.
I like sea breeze.
That's
Ocean breeze. Ocean mist.
Yeah,
Those
we have
types
one-
of flavors.
We have one called Hawaiian Aloha in our car right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you
Freaking
go.
names.
It's actually, it's the worst, actually.
Oh, and shit.
When I was on the ship, it was the worst.
Hawaiian Aloha?
There was this guy. He smelled so fucking bad, and I'm sorry that I'm cussing. I don't know that I'm sorry, but he smelled horrible. And that's one of the main reasons why I went out and got Coronado cherry. I would literally have to like put it by my head, like the head of my bed, like both sides,
shit.
and sleep, because he smelled so bad that he stunk up the half of our area.
Wow.
And
You couldn't get used to it either, huh?
No, you just like no. It was bad, dude.
and no one took him to the side and would be like, "Yo, Jerry, you stank."
No, we did. Like at one point, somebody put him on blast at when we all get together in the morning and do the and Buster and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, so who's like? Does anybody have any problems or whatever? I'm like, yeah, this dude needs to take a fucking shower and wash his clothes. And it was so, but I felt bad for the dude, but I didn't at the same time, because it was like he didn't care. And it's like it would be different if he's like, oh, damn, like my bad. But it's like the dude didn't care that he smelled, and that he just like he wouldn't even take a shower. He would just roll up into his rack, and it was so bad. And it's like that's probably one of the things that I hated the most about the Navy, was having to share the same spaces
Space
with
other
people,
especially for months.
Yeah, dude, especially when people smell bad.
Dude, think of how many people hated Coronado cherry, though, in your bunk.
That's the thing, is you couldn't smell the Coronado cherry because that dude smelled that bad.
Damn,
You could
that's
only
bad.
smell the Coronado cherry if you had your head right on my pillow.
I do love that you stuck with Coronado cherry, though, all these years later. Like, it just
Coronado
activated
cherry.
some fetish in you.
Yeah, that shows
yeah.
dedication.
Yeah.
Hey, Coronado cherry.
But I do kind of admire that no fucks given kind of sensibility that some guys just like, I'm just not going to wash. You know, because I dread, I have I think a lot of people have the fear of smelling bad. Like, you throw all this deodorant on and you like, because you can, those days you don't have deodorant on and you're just like sweating and you're just like, like maybe if I put my arms tight enough, the stank won't get out, It'll just be just a hot box of stank in there, So like, man, I wish I could care that little, but instead, I'm always freaking out about that. Like right before you're about to talk to someone, you're like, my breath all right?
yeah.
Do I smell good? And thinking of my teeth. Yeah.
That's wild. Dang, dude.
All right.
We're at 149, man. Like,
Oh, wow.
this is or an hour 49 minutes. So we had a good conversation
Yeah.
going. Once again, Bantamweight, right? You guys got a video, Clairvoyance, coming out soon?
That's right. Yeah, it should be out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay, cool. I don't think this will be up tomorrow. I don't know. We'll work on it.
So it'll be out by the time this is out.
Yeah,
What
by
is,
the time
what
this
is the
out-
date of tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Whatever tomorrow is,
The
whenever you're
24th.
watching this.
April
Tomorrow,
24th.
April 24th.
24th, yeah.
Dope. And then and the EP is called
It's called Fear.
Fear.
It's on our Bandcamp, Bantamweight Bandcamp. We're very Googleable.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then your Instagram handle is
Bantamweight.official.
Official, yeah.
Yeah.
Check them out. Adam,
Yeah.
Thank you.
everybody.
We would appreciate
Let
it.
them
Max,
let,
Keith.
let those numbers get up, and they'll get excited and go see a show. Hopefully at the Locker Room or
At the bowling
at
alley.
this
Secret bowling alley.
secret bowling alley.
Yeah, maybe you guys can come out. Maybe I can get you at like the Hood or Bart Lounge or something like that.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks
Okay.
for having us on here,
Yeah,
guys.
no,
This
really,
was
thank you
awesome.
very
Making the
much.
track and coming out. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right,
Pool
boys.
House Vibes, episode
Yeah.
number 8.
The Ocho.
Deuces.
See ya.